Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Billy Reviews. My name is, of course, BillyCreston, also known as Bill from Field of Geeks, and tonight we are going to be doing a review of the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Now, this dropped on April 1st. It's been out for about a week or two now. I know I'm late in getting this up here, but it is the latest edition in Nintendo's animated universe, if you will, brought to you by Illumination, who brought us the Despicable Me and Minions movies, which we're getting another one of, and I can't believe we're still milking this franchise. Normally I would do like 5 good, 5 bad, all that stuff. We're not going to do that today because there's enough negativity in the world, so fuck that. I'm going to go ahead and get my rating out of the way first. I'm going to give this a solid 4 out of 5 stars. It was good. I think I probably liked the first movie better, but there are things about this movie that I liked better. And it's a vastly different movie from the first one. So, yeah, I'm just going to say that it's good for what it is. I don't rate it as highly as the previous, but we got some really cool stuff with this one. So the first thing I'm going to get into is if you love Easter eggs, this is the movie for you. And the previous one did the same thing. But this one, you're going to have to go through this thing frame by frame when it comes out on streaming or physical media just to find all the cool little Nintendo Easter eggs in it. There's a cameo from Rob. You remember Rob? One of the early Nintendo peripherals that just absolutely tanked. I think it had 2 games to it. And it was slow and clunky and just a gigantic piece of shit. And the movie kind of makes fun of that too, which, is kind of funny to me. I chuckled at that. I love that scene. Also, one of the main weapons used in the movie to kind of turn Mario and Luigi into babies is the Super Scope from the Super Nintendo. I never had one personally. I never really saw the point because if it's not going to come with Duck Hunt, then who cares, right? I know, I'm old school like that. I don't care. But yeah, just thinking of peripherals that came with the original Nintendo, we had the Zapper. I think that was about the best one that we ever got. We got that exercise mat thing from Track and Field. We had the Power Glove, which unironically is bad, just like they say in The Wizard. Big reveal as part of the trailers that came out on this movie. Fox McCloud is part of this movie, which was phenomenal. I'm a huge Star Fox fan, and I'm really hoping that this causes Nintendo to make a standalone Star Fox film. That would be fantastic. They do some animation sequences that are kind of in a pseudo-anime style, and then they just get right into the action. The stuff with the R-Wing was really cool. Fox McCloud is played by Glenn Powell, who you'll remember from Top Gun Maverick as Hangman. Great actor. He did phenomenal as Fox McCloud. And yeah, so in my opinion, he kind of stole the show a little bit. But if I were to give this movie a nitpick, it's that if you're going into it to see the Mario Brothers, you're not going to see them a whole hell of a lot. Anyway, there's so much focus on side characters like Princess Peach, Princess Rosalina, who are sisters, spoiler alert. I don't know if that's actually canon. I've never played any of those games that she's in, but they have such a huge focus on Peach and Rosalina, and they are just total girl bosses. They get surrounded by enemies. They take them out with ease. Rosalina gets captured. Peach comes to her rescue. Total girl boss moment, whatever. I could take or leave that. Whatever. But the action in this movie, just, chef's kiss. Absolutely phenomenal. Beautifully done, beautifully choreographed, beautifully animated. I really love that they do certain scenes where it's flipping from the normal 3D, quote, live action of the movie and flipping to 8-bit or 16-bit to kind of show us what it would look like in the video game if we were playing the video game from home, which I always find that really cool. When they do stuff like that, makes me very nostalgic for classic Super Mario Brothers. We had those little fire stick wheels and stuff like that, the thwomps coming down. That was just cool. I'm a huge video game nerd, if you don't know by now. So that sort of stuff really makes me happy. Now, we got some classic villains to make an appearance in this one from Super Mario Brothers 2, which is probably one of the... I don't know, I remember Super Mario Brothers 2 fondly. I liked it for what it was. It was supposed to be a game called Doki Doki Panic, or it was a game called Doki Doki Panic in Japan, and they turned it into a Mario Brothers game for a US release, so we didn't really get back to Mario's roots, so to speak, until Mario Brothers 3. But Mario Brothers 2 holds a very near and dear place in my heart. For the one, it was the first time you could play as any character you wanted without having to be stuck as player 2 to play as Luigi. Shout out Luigi, he's my favorite player 2 of all time. But we got several enemies from that game, right? We got Wart, voiced by Luis Guzman, which, man, I don't think I've ever seen a movie where I didn't love him in. He is just an amazing actor. I don't know, I just can't help but smile anytime he's involved in a movie. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you know, it's like that cool uncle you got that you see every once in a while on Thanksgiving. He's just kind of, you know, he's just kind of there. Doesn't really stand out too much, but he always makes you smile, always makes you laugh, always kind of warms your heart, you know what I mean? We had Birdo in there, which Birdo's a cool character anyway. Probably the first, how do I say this, cross-dress character in video game history. Probably came before that, and I mean, probably had more of that in Japan, but like here in the U.S., like you didn't really see that too much. Like if you look at the Super Mario Brothers 2 instruction manual, it lists Birdo as a guy that thinks he's a girl. So I don't know. Maybe that's been retconned. I don't know. Who knows, man? We had the Shy Guys in there, Claw Grip, the big-ass crab guy, Mouser, my favorite boss from that game, and, of course, the Ninja, who kind of come in and just swarm Princess Peach, and she takes them out single-handedly with a friggin' umbrella. But, you know, whatever. Cool, moving on. So, the main thing I want to get into, there are a ton of Smash Brothers references in this game, and I think that's where we're going eventually, is getting a Smash Brothers movie at some point, and that's going to be difficult to pull off, but we'll get into that. So of course, if you were paying attention, we had Pikmin, Mr. Game & Watch, Donkey Kong, Fox McCloud, of course, Captain Falcon, his hover car from F-Zero makes an appearance. I didn't see him in the background or anything like that, but he might be there, I don't know. So all we're missing at this point, if we wanted to stick with like kind of the core characters, are Link, Kirby, Pikachu, Samus, and you could probably throw Ness in there. My God, would an Earthbound movie just fucking rock? Dude, I would love to see that. Anyway, now if you get into the history of Smash Brothers, there are a ton of characters in it now, right? There's crossover characters from different franchises, different companies. There's like Sonic's in there, Solid Snake, Cloud Strife, Ryu from Street Fighter 2, Sora from Kingdom Hearts, Little Mac, you know, the frickin' fitness trainer from Wii. You remember her? Yeah. They're all in there, which, like, if we do get a Smash Brothers movie, I think the scale of that is going to be toned down significantly. Just because, like, the original Smash Brothers, I think it had, like, 8 characters max, you know, and most of those characters have shown up in this film and the previous Mario film as well, so you never know. Probably going to be just the base Nintendo properties. There's a lot of legal red tape there, and if anybody knows legal red tape, it's Nintendo, man, let me tell you. Final thoughts, I'd love to see a Star Fox movie. The stuff with the R-Wing was great. We got the classic line, do a barrel roll. We got that in there. I mean, come on. You cannot be happier with that. So anyway, 4 out of 5 stars. This movie is great. Go check it out. Make sure to check out Field of Geeks on youtube.com @Field of Geeks. You can also check us out wherever you get your podcasts. With all that being said, that'll wrap it up for tonight. Thank you for checking this out. And let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What did you like? What did you not like? What do you rate this movie? What are you looking forward to seeing next? I would love to see a live-action Captain Falcon movie played by Henry Cavill, but that's just me.